So now into no. And now we're going to talk about stability. Through this time in our history right now, stability is in question right now, right? Because of what's going on in the world. All right. So, we want to figure out the ways to create a stable business, that in turn supports our life plan, and also an investment plan for future. So if we exit, or if the market, pushes us out of the way at some point, and our product is no longer valid, or our service is no longer valid, and we don't want to, reinvent, recreate, we've created enough here to support the life plan and the investment plan going forward. Okay. So we grow profits as much as possible, as fast as possible. How do we do that? We do that by hitting the ground fast and run. Okay. In e-commerce, the way to do that is what? That's all about marketing and advertising your product. The more eyeballs you can put on your product, combined with that little bit of a unique USP, will grow your profits 125%. Okay. Seems like a big number, but it's not really. If your company's doing, let's just say 100%. So if your company's doing $1 million a year and you 100% do 100% growth, that's really not that much growth. Not really. Okay. Not in the bigger scheme of things. But this is what we should be shooting for every year, is 100% growth, 100% turnover. Okay. Growing those profits. And then we can start to put some of this stuff, some of that percentage away for a rainy day, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. Okay. Now you also, to become stable, you want to build a lender base. Okay. If you go through, and every business does this, goes through this, the curve looks like this through the year. Maybe you got a steep increase, then you get a decrease, back up, so on and so forth. Walmart has this. Trust me, I know, I've been in there. Okay. They have this in their numbers. They don't like to show them, but they have it. They have their ups and downs just like any other business. Okay. So we want to have a good lender field that we can go to for these times to say, hey, I need a $10,000 cash influx for my business. Okay. And you take out a business loan, right? And you get a good deal because you've built relationships here with lenders. Okay. Same with investors. Okay. Start building an investor base. The fastest way to scale a company is to build an investor base. That's the quickest way to do it. If you can get people to see the same vision that you have for your current idea, and give some kind of I'm not of the Shark Tank model where you should give pieces of your company away, but you can still do a profit share with investors. Okay. And some of the best investors are just people that you know, not family though. That's never a good idea. Definitely not family. But people that you know, people that you've been friends with for years, they could see the greatness in this, and you draw up a contract for a profit share and they share in profit. Okay. It's an easy cash influx. Okay. If you start putting these pieces together, and there again, for some of you in the long term, this gives staff confidence. Okay. People that work for you, they want to know that your business is stable. Okay. They don't want to come to work for you this month, and then 2 months later, they're out of a job, having to go back, go through that whole thing again to find another job. They want to know that the business is stable. Okay. So, staff confidence is a pretty big thing too. Okay, you want your staff to be confident in you. If they're confident in you, they'll do better work for you. I mean, they'll bend over backwards for you. Going back to also what we talked in those leadership principles. Okay, two. Now, surviving rough waters. Okay, how ironic is that topic right now? Okay, because of what's going on in the world, right? So Bill Gates, I'll give you a great example of how surviving rough waters. Bill Gates's philosophy was he would have enough money in a savings account, not really, but just for lack of a better word, in a savings account to run his company for an entire year at a zero balance every month. Okay, that covers all the costs of the company, right? All the operating costs of the company, paying all the employees for an entire year with making $0 that year. Okay, so not everybody can start there, obviously, but an aspiration is a war chest, right? So you have a war chest. You that way you can survive. And this can just start off as something as simple as, well, if some people would have had that today as they were going up the chain, now we hit this craziness, and now their business started going downward spiraling. If they would have just had enough to fill this gap right here, they'd be sitting a lot differently. Okay, paying their employees still supporting the economy, the whole 9 yards, maybe doing less 125% for these 2 months, right? Holding a negative every month, but they had coffers to fill this. Sucks to take that hit, but they planned for surviving rough waters. So if you're not doing that now, I highly, highly suggest that you start to do it now. And it doesn't have to be in the tone of thousands and thousands of dollars right now, but you increase that as your business increases over time, okay? And really start to build up those financial coffers,